Good morning, everyone. Here we are. It is, of course, the Fruit and Nut News on, of course, today is, of course, the 11th of the 5th, 11th of May, 2000, and, of course, 26, ladies and gentlemen. So, good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope we're all okay. I've closed one curtain and fucking opened another one. Anyway, there you go. So, we've gone like full commando this morning. Not like commando downstairs, but commando on the head. We've also got the green glasses as well, which is quite interesting. Ha ha ha. So there we go. Famous quote of the day today, especially in regards to the politics, etc., etc. I love this one. You can't make orange juice out of grapefruits. So, I love it. Absolutely love that one. So, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are on, of course, once again, Monday morning. Good morning, everybody. So, quick hello to Jason, Smarties. Who else have we got? Let's just have a look here. Let's have a look. Smarties, Ishila, Jan, Graham, Denise, Gradders, Angie, Belinda, Christine, Karma's in. How you doing, Karma? I'm here for knowledge. Behave. Oh, yes. Brenda Corcoran, Jason Thomas is in. Sheila Douglas, she's in. Joanna Unwin, and, of course, Sue Allen. 17 people in. 17 people. You can't make it up. So, quote of the day. You can't make orange juice out of grapefruits. Brilliant. Now, let's have what should we start with? Let's start with a bit of political rhetoric, shall we? Starmer, of course, as you all know, in all kinds of trouble after the elections last week. Amazingly, Starmer seems to think he's still going to do good shit, and amazingly, most of his politicians are so I don't know how you describe this. Is this mental ignorance? Is it this, that, and I mean, we've got people now saying that Starmer is going to deliver. Starmer has got a new plan. Starmer has recognised that the people are, clearly disgruntled. Well, what? I mean, this is a guy that's been in power for, nearly 2 years, let's say, for instance, okay? And he seems unable to basically recognise where the country's at. Now, obviously, he promised to smash the gangs, do something about knife crime, etc., etc. All those things that are important to, of course, important to, of course, the people of the UK. I mean, the most important thing about the people of the UK is, of course, the first of all, the open borders and the migrant situation. That's number one. Secondly, I would say we're looking at the cost of fuel, the cost of food, and of course the never-ending taxes. Okay. Now in the UK at the moment, I would estimate that we are charged somewhere in the region of 85% tax in every pound that we earn. Now, if you don't think that is true, okay, go and have a look at the amount of taxes that have been introduced since, let's say, 1950, around about 1950, as a course. That will give you a barometer of the fact that you are being shafted. I mean, there's no doubt about it. And of course, remember that your money, of course, is basically being laundered. Now, the other thing that a lot of people don't understand is that councils and council tax, okay, is basically used to invest in. So your money is used to invest in companies. by the council. Often these companies go bust, and of course we don't get any payback. Now, one of the ways that councils make money, okay, is by investing in certain things, right? Now, this is a practice that's been going on for a long time. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't know about it. The classic one that I can remember was Northern Rock. Remember Northern Rock? A lot of councils had investment portfolios in Northern Rock that then went tits up, couldn't get the money, etc., etc. Okay. Now, another interesting thing when it comes to money laundering and and councils investing in things is, of course, Mr. Zelensky. Now, money goes to various parts of the world in different disguises, and of course, all it is money laundering. Now, it's now been proved, okay, officially proved, that Mr. Zelensky is skimming off the donations around about 70% in taxes. Around about 70%. So 70% of any money that is sent to Ukraine is being skimmed off, and we know that because and we can measure this very easily in our terms. Okay, it's very easy to measure it. The car company called Bentley happened to have one of their best selling franchises in the Ukraine. Okay, so that's all it is. So that's a very easy thing for you to look at. Okay, and you can go, yeah, well, that's obviously clearly. Zelensky has also got a massive property portfolio. He's also got a massive car portfolio, and so have many of his people that are basically there. And here's what happens, ladies and gentlemen. 70% of that money that finds its way into Zelensky's pockets or into the pockets of other people, some of it gets pushed back through shell companies, through Companies House, through offshore accounts, and it gets pulled back into the British political system. The politicians are receiving backhanders somewhere along the line, okay? Whether or not it's through companies, whether or not it's through gifts, whether or not it's through all kinds of things. So it's a very interesting gang of people that claim to be running. Now, a lot of people are clearly thinking that Starmer's people, or should we say politicians in general, have what we call cognitive dissidence. Now, I don't think they actually do. I think that Keir Starmer and his mob of people, and also politicians, know exactly what they're doing because they are told to. Okay, and they are told to do certain things because remember that politicians are, of course, just the visual front, okay, of the shop. Okay, the owners of the shop are way in the background. Okay, Keir Starmer is just a shop worker selling you a package of things. Okay, it's very interesting. Now we come back to the Disney cruise ships, which very interestingly came out around about the same time as the rat virus, where apparently two tourists that were bird spotting on a landfill site happened to pick up a rat virus. Now, if you don't think that was funny, well, you need to remember one thing. The English guy that basically caught the virus looked a lot like the guy that was married to Nicola Bulley. Martin Anstel, who was got the rat virus, looked very much like Paul Ansell. Very interesting. Anyway, keep your eye on that one because it could be quite interesting. Let's also remember as well that Nicola Bulley's father, I think it was a very prominent figure around about the 1980s in regards to livestock trafficking. Very interesting. Yes, it all, of course, leads to one thing, and that, of course, is, the one thing that it leads to, which is, of course, the gang. Now, the ICE agents and the FBI apparently raided the Disney cruise ships, and they arrested 28 people that were involved in child trafficking, all kinds of child shit going on. So, if you are sort of a Disney fan, it might be a little bit interesting that you don't do that. Anyway, not to worry. Meanwhile, a Chinese billionaire couple have been caught with £870 million and 1.2 million tons of 1.2 tons of drugs. This was on a luxury Texas estate in, of course, the America Shire. So very, very interesting as well. Meanwhile, Donald Trump apparently has unveiled the aliens. This was a bit of footage where Donald was seen walking with a 10-foot alien. Not quite sure whether or not that's true or not. But of course, the rat virus does actually distract us from, of course, the Disney raids. The Iran war also distracts us from the Epstein files, amongst other things. Very interesting. And lo and behold, it seems as though the DOJ are withholding 45,000 Epstein files today, this moment in time. 45,000 bits of information are not going to be released or haven't been released. Very interesting. When we did think that we were going to get transparency. And then, of course, we've got the 9/11 files, the JFK files, etc., heavily redacted, or even sometimes not even published. So, yes, lots of things need to come out for us to clear the air, so to speak. Now, Donald Trump's former spiritual advisor basically abused a 12-year-old, I think it was a girl, for 4 years, sentenced to 10 years in prison, and miraculously released after 6 months. So basically, a big shout out today to Donald Trump to actually step in and do something about this. Know what I mean, Don? Know what I mean? Now, Russia, this was a couple of days ago, celebrated victory over Germany in 1945. You might not be aware of this, of course, but Russia was the one that liberated Germany, Berlin, in 1945. It wasn't the Americans, it wasn't the British, and it wasn't the Allied forces. This was the Russian army. The Russian people liberated Germany in 1945. And yet, even today, ladies and gentlemen, even today, Western society doesn't know the truth. And not only that, but Western society continues to attack Mr. Putin and, of course, the Russian people. Remember, any war that goes on is not good for anybody. So it doesn't matter whether or not it's Zelensky. It doesn't matter whether or not it's Palestine. Doesn't matter whether it's Lebanon, Gaza, Iraq, Iran, Yemen. It doesn't matter. Okay? These wars are damaging not only for the countries, but also for the people that are expected to fight these wars. My simple message to anybody that wants to go to war is fuck off. That's the best answer that I can give you. Now, just quickly going back a little bit here, we have, of course, got the King's speech this week. Now, apparently, Keir Starmer is going to speak to the nation today. Not quite sure what he's going to say, but I would imagine it's somewhere on the lines of bullshit. And tomorrow, of course, will be more bullshit. And the day after that will be more bullshit. And Keir Starmer's plan that he'll talk about today is bullshit. Okay? And he'll talk about more bullshit tomorrow. And when he's asked about the boats, he'll talk about bullshit. Just like everybody else does do as well. And so it will be interesting to see in regards to the King's speech, to see what is actually said. Now, I do think that the royalty at the moment is at a particular moment in time where it could possibly be about to reveal itself to the public, of course, and that, of course, is going to be a little bit shocking when people find out about Granny Queen and who actually Granny Queen is. Anyway, we'll leave that to the big boys to tell the little children what it's all about. Now, Keir Starmer is very interested in, apparently they need to modernise, and apparently they need more women instead of men, and they need less men and more women. It's not really going to make any difference whether it's a man or a woman. Of course, the common sense and, of course, the policies that need to be implemented will not be implemented, of course, because it goes against the colonial British system. And of course, if you've got no idea what the colonial British system is, ladies and gentlemen, well, all you have to do is look at, first of all, Gordon Brown, who is being brought back into the cabinet to save the day. Gordon was the one that sold 50% of British gold for fuck all. Yes, that's the man. Also, highly connected to Mandelson. Also highly connected to Epstein. Also highly connected to many other people in that situation. Highly connected to Tony Blair, the biggest warmongering mongrel on the planet. So, all these people, of course, piss in the same pot, and of course they will do anything to protect themselves. So here we have Gordon Brown coming back, trying to make the party better. And then, of course, we've got Harriet Harman. Now, I don't know about you, but Harriet Harman looks very similar to the Moors murderer, Myra Hindley. Very interesting character. We'll wait and see what happens there. Now, let's have a quick recap on Margaret Thatcher. Now, Margaret Thatcher, in regards to Gordon Brown, was an absolute professional. Basically, Margaret Thatcher, did all kinds of things. I mean, she basically What did she do? She sold every British company that you can think about. British Gas, British Rail, British Coal, British Electric, British Steel, British Telecom. Oh, yes. She sold them all. She sold them all. And I'll tell you what, if she'd have had her way, she'd have sold London fucking Bridge. And she basically, Margaret Thatcher basically fucked Great Britain over big style. Now, I was working at the, I was working in the power station industry at the time, and I can tell you all the facts and figures about Australian coal that you would need to know in order to know that Margaret Thatcher was an absolute wanker. Yes, an absolute wanker. Now, many people, of course, and the media, classed Margaret Thatcher as the Iron Lady. But, yes, the only iron that she had was to iron fucking clothes. Yes, very, very interesting. So, what else have we got? Let's have a quick look here to see if... Oh, David Attenborough. This is a bit of a recap, ladies and gentlemen. David Attenborough, the legend of course, climate change, the legend of all kinds of things, renowned for his... renowned actually across the world for his bullshit. Not many people know actually the true David Attenborough. Very interesting. I mean, they've just had a weekend of celebrations for David Attenborough. Meanwhile, of course, David Bellamy was dropped like a fucking penny because, of course, David knew the truth. And David Attenborough, of course, was prepared to lie and sell his soul to the devil, which he actually fucking did. Now, May the 14th apparently is Ascension Day. This apparently is the feast of the Ascension of Jesus Christ, or should we say Christos, beginning with a K. If you know what I'm talking about, you'll know what I'm talking about. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you won't know what I'm talking about. Now, of course, the Christos oil is due to rise through the spine and go up into your pineal gland. And this is supposed to be a monthly occurrence, allowing you not to eat food, etc., etc., etc. It's a very interesting time. Anyway, we'll wait and see. Now, yesterday, of course, was more bullshit from the elite people with the BAFTAs. I will be doing a little bit more on the BAFTAs a bit later on. But the political system has been awarded the BAFTA for the most fucked up people in the world. Very interesting. Now, here's an interesting question that a lot of people have never proposed themselves. JFK shot, Donald Trump shot, Colonel Gaddafi shot, Mr. Reagan shot at, many other good people shot. Ever wondered about all the people that were never shot? Yes, it actually might be worth thinking about. Why would people not get shot in positions of power? That's a very interesting one. Very, very interesting. Now, someone has just reminded me that we've had a brand new crop circle turn up. I'm not quite sure where it is. We're still trying to work out what it is. I think I put it on my wall. So if anybody's got any theories or ideas, then please let us know. Unfortunately, we seem to be missing David Wilcox, which would be able to enlighten us maybe a bit more. But the circle is a very interesting one. And I remember a few months ago, it was said that the outer people would basically be trying to communicate with us. Now, maybe this is some form of a communication. Personally, when I look at the picture, which is a circle in the middle with circles going out in all kinds of different ways. So my initial thoughts on this are, it's sort of like smaller planets ascending into one planet, maybe. I don't know. Maybe that's a little bit too simple. Or could it be a larger planet splitting into different planets? Now, you will remember that the other day I did have a vivid dream about Israel, and the vivid dream about Israel was that Israel was going to split in half. That's what I got, and I was in some kind of a military camp. I was having some beef. I don't know what all that was about, but anyway, but was in this military camp and I was having this dream about Israel splitting in half. Now, I was told that in the biblical prophecies, so to speak, that of course there are certain lakes that are covering up certain things in, of course, the Americas. Now, sometimes in things, Israel can be described as America. So this is actually quite an interesting thing for us to actually look at. So anyway, we'll wait and see. You know, we're not going to sort of say that this is definitely going to happen. That's definitely going to happen, because maybe it won't. Okay. So just going back to the latest crop circle, there were 5. So you got one thing in the center. You've then got 5 beams going out. So could this be, you know, maybe the 5th dimension, maybe? I don't know, 4th dimension, 3rd dimension, who knows? It's just a question that we might pose ourselves in sort of questioning. What else have we got? Now, 10th of May, which was yesterday, did you know that yesterday was Mother's Day in America? Very interesting. Okay, and of course, as you well know, Donald Trump has a mother. Now, also what's very interesting, that yesterday it was 666 days since Donald Trump had his ear clipped by a nuclear missile. Remember that one? Absolute fucking fake assassination I've ever fucking seen in my life. But anyway, very interesting from a sheeple point of view. So we'll wait and see. The other interesting thing as well is that apparently Congress has blocked Donald Trump in moving forward. That's going to be quite interesting, isn't it? So anyway, let's wait and see. Now, apparently, in regards to the shooting of Donald Trump 666 days ago, or should we say now 667 days ago, it seems as though that it could have been the butler in the kitchen. Fucking hell. Honestly, you gotta love it. Now, also as well, 14th and 15th of May, which happens to be a few days' time, ladies and gentlemen, apparently in the UK, we are going to see 30 to 36 hours of fucking hell. of snow. Fucking hell. Fucking snow. Oh dear. You've got to love Cluedo. You've got to love Cluedo. Cluedo's the best thing ever. Now, I actually thought that when Donald Trump did get shot, I thought it could be Nancy in the Pelosi room. but clearly it's now been proven that it was the butler in the kitchen. And he was shooting over the free range cooker. Brilliant. So yeah, King's speech apparently later on in the week. I'm not quite sure. I'll check that, see when it is. And then of course 14th to the 15th of May, we've got this 30 to 36 hours of snow. Fucking hell. Hey, you can't make it up. What's that? 30 to 36 hours of adds up to 6-6. What else are we? Yeah, adds up to 6-6. 2 6s are 12. I don't know. Anyway, starts apparently on Tuesday the 12th. So yeah, very interesting. Anyway, we will of course. Come back to that very, very shortly. Anyway, listen, ladies and gentlemen, we've got 33 people in the house just here. Now, remember, this is not a satanic song, by the way. Okay, this is just my hand. It just happens to do things sometimes. Anyway, listen, take care. Have a great day. Enjoy yourself. We will, of course, see you all again very shortly. There will be a live tonight, I would imagine, around about 7 o'clock, 7:15, somewhere around there. Not so much of a busy day today for me personally, but anyway, still busy. It is, of course, what are we now? Nearly 10 o'clock. So take care. Love you loads. Have a great day. Enjoy yourself. And we will, of course, see you all again a bit later on. Lovely loads. Take care.